Welcome to Hellas Footy Podcast, episode 13. I'm your host, George. Let's get started. Nico, how are you?
Good. Didn't pick a winner today, as always.
Yes.
Good to be on for episode 13. And as I said, gate 13.
Gate 13, there you go for the Panathinaikos fans. And Nico talking about picking a winner. It was a Melbourne Cup in Australia today. So I actually picked it. I only put $5 on it. So I had a return of $85. So I'm going to put it all on the soccer in the next 24 hours and lose it all, or football. Yeah. Michael, how are you, mate?
I'm great to be back on.
Yes, it's been a while.
Good to have you back.
Good to be back on. After a bit of a while at work,
That's it.
Yeah, and as for Melbourne Cup, nah. The Kamisa. So
that doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I have the habit of choosing my birthday number, so it was leading the whole way. But yeah, I don't know where it came in the end. So
Can't win, mate. That's gambling for you. Just don't put your mortgage on it. And last but not least, Theo Hadzi's back with us. How are you, mate?
Good, Georgie. Thanks for having me back on. It's good to be back.
Good to have you, mate. Yeah, look, we've got a few absentees today. Stephen and Greek, unfortunately can't make it, but they should be back for our next episode. All right, well, we'll get things started with the league here. So let me just get my matches up for me here. Where are we here? Okay, so first cab off the rank, PAOK. Had a demolition job on Apollon Smyrnis. Stefan Schwab opened up the scoring in the 5th minute. Pavlidis actually equalised 9 minutes later for Apollon.
Scrappy.
Yeah, it was a bit scrappy. It looked like it was going to be an interesting game. Game went into half-time 1-1. But then PAOK steamrolled home. 66th minute goal to Karol Swiderski, 72nd minute goal to Michailidis, and a Douglas Augusto goal in that 94th minute wrapped up that game. Nico, did you pick that up by any chance, buddy?
Just the highlights, yeah. As you said, it was at one point it was looking like it was just going to peter out to a disappointing 1-1 draw for PAOK.
PAOK, yeah.
Yeah, but credit to them, they got it together, and look, they were the deserved winners.
Yeah,
I think that was a true reflection of the game as well. They were dominant, albeit with a couple of penalties in there. They had a lot of chances.
It is what it is.
Apollon probably too open on the road.
Now,
speaking of Apollon.
Yes, Michael, I was going to bring it up. Go.
Yeah, they're moaning about the ref.
Yes, it was the weekend of the moan, I believe. Everyone decided they're going to have a crack at referees, and we'll talk about that later.
It's unusual, isn't it? Not having cracks at refs.
yeah. From Apollon's side, though, it's a bit rich from them. But
they only had that one chance, and that was it.
Yeah.
But from that one chance, it came from let's just say, it could have been defended better by PAOK. And I've called that this player before on the podcast. PAOK's right back, or I don't know if he even is a right back. I call him the Brazilian Mavrias.
You're talking about Lucas Taylor?
Yes, that's him.
That's it. So you're not a fan?
He's not a right back. He's not a defender. He's a winger. If I have to play him on the wing, definitely. He's great going forward. You put him in defence, forget it. You're leaking goals every single game.
That's interesting.
That came from him, that goal. I don't know. He allowed Pavlidis to go around him, get the head on it.
Yeah.
And then it's 1-1.
And it was 1-1. Look, I think it went 1-1 at half-time. They probably thought they were in the game, but as Nick was saying earlier, it was always going to be PAOK steamrolling home, and the 4-1 result, albeit with some penalties, but they were still the much better side and the deserved winners there. So I don't know what Apollon are crying about, but I guess when you're coming last or second last, whatever they are on the table, then the world's caving in on your aspirations of being in the top division. So we'll see how that goes for them. Moving on, Panathinaikos hosted Olympiacos, and Olympiacos came away with a 2-1 win. Tiquinho opened up the scoring in the 13th minute. I don't know if any of you boys caught the goal by Panathinaikos by Vergos in the 19th minute. It was a beautiful goal. It was a nice ball. It was a nice pass, like a little bit of a bent pass to him. You ran onto it. Great control, great finish by the former Real Madrid striker. Well, I'm sure he's got the jersey at home on a wall, and it doesn't say B on it, but
a training pitch with Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Gareth Bale.
What a malacca.
I was just going to say, better performance by Panetolikos after last week with Aris.
Yeah, well, I mean, they went into half time 1-1.
They could have got more from it.
Yeah. Now in the second half, I don't know if you guys picked up the penalty in the 68th minute or 70th minute was converted, but the Panetolikos goalkeeper just decided to. I don't know what he was doing. He went for the ball on the edge of the box. The shortest player was trying to head it in. Valbuena was trying to head the ball into play. If he stood a metre back, Valbuena heads it straight to him, but he decided to punch him in the head instead. Penalty. Game over. Yeah. So look, it wasn't a good game for Olympiacos. It was quite scrappy. They got the job done.
Do you think that's from all the European games that they've been having, George? They're just in the rotating of the squad and not.
I don't know. It's hard to say. We haven't looked good all season. We've looked good in like a game here or a game there.
Yeah.
But we just haven't been able to look good, I guess. Well, I don't know how more to say. But then the interesting part of that is we're still leading the competition. Well, Olympiacos is still leading the competition. So. Look, the way I see it is the reality of how the actual team is going was against Frankfurt when we got dusted by them a couple of weeks ago then, and they're sitting low in the German Bundesliga. So that's your litmus test on how the team is really performing, because in all fairness, Olympiacos beats most teams in Greece most weekends. And that's no disrespect to anyone, any club there. But, when a team from outside of Greece in a very stable, dominant league that are struggling comes and just, outperforms us in all aspects of the game, that's when you know where you really stand. So it's a little bit worrying for me that we still can't get it together.
Yeah, I think for a few weeks it's sort of been up and down sort of thing. I don't know. I can't sort of put my finger on it.
Yeah, I don't know. Michael, what do you reckon? Like, what's your opinion on Olympiacos?
Look, quality. They got huge quality. So
quality roster.
That's going to carry them all season.
In Greece, yes.
Yeah, that's going to carry them. And I think at some stage they will eventually be that Olympiacos side that we saw last season.
My concern...
But this season has been... It's much more quality than last season. We have AEK doing well, even though they switched coaches. PAOK have improved to a certain extent, but still their defense is shambolic.
Yeah.
And then you have Volos going. They've just become titans against the big teams. But I don't know about Panathinaikos. They collapsed over there, but they gave a challenge to AEK some time ago.
Yeah.
So.
George, for me, with Olympiacos, I just feel that obviously it's sort of become a monopoly now with how poor Panathinaikos has been in the league, of recent seasons, and you just want to see Olympiacos just push that step further in Europe and put that, just go get back into those quarterfinals and semi-finals of yesteryear. It's you know what I mean?
Yeah, look, I've said this for a long time, and it goes for all the Greek clubs that no Greek club is going to succeed in Europe. Olympiacos, for instance, the last couple of years they've played, they've gone to the whatever quarterfinals or whatever it is in Europe, but they haven't had like they've had losses in the way, and they've dropped down to the Europa League, and they've had last minute goals and all that. And a win is a win, but we haven't been dominant to get to those stages, and you see that. So, but going back to that point, that no Greek club, I feel, is going to do anything until the Greek league has sorted itself out, and you see all the clubs pushing themselves again. You can't look. I'm an Olympiacos fan. I've been supporting the club all my life. I want to see them win the leagues and all that, but it's also detrimental to the league if you see a club winning the last 22 championships out of the last 25 years or whatever it is, whatever the thing is.
Something like that.
Yeah, so as much as on a personal note, fantastic, but if I'm a bigger picture guy, well, it doesn't sit well with me watching the league grow. I mean, when AEK won the league, for instance, a couple of years ago,
there was that spell, and then BAOK the season later. You just thought maybe it was going to turn a corner.
Yeah.
I think what you want to see is these teams like Apollon Smyrni, like Panetolikos doing well in the league, and just getting that youth through so they can eventually become ethnic players. You know what I mean? So
what you want is the clubs like Atromitos, Ofi, Aris, like Ofi, for instance. You want them to do good because they got untapped potential to be a big player in the Greek league. But they just can't seem to get it right, these clubs.
We said it lots of times. They're too obsessed with signing the over-the-hill Xeni.
Well, yeah, I mean, but then Atromitos went and signed over-the-hill Greeks.
That's right.
And we all thought they were going to do good, better than what they're doing now. I mean, who would have thought Koulouris is
he's really finished.
It was a one-season wonder. Let's call it for what it is. He had that one season, got himself the move, but nothing ever happened. BAOK saw it and they cashed in on it straight away. So obviously they knew what was going on with him. So it's an interesting one, but I digress. Moving on. Speaking of Atromitos, Lamia hosted them and they had a 2-2 draw. Stefanos Strungis opened up the scoring for Atromitos in the 19th minute. A Papadopoulos K-Pap own goal just before half-time.
He was unlucky.
1-1. He was unlucky?
Yeah, he just went in to, get the ball from across, but it deflected off him, and it went back in the net.
It went in, yeah. Well, Atromitos just after in the 58th minute took the lead by Vassilantonopoulos. Yeah, there you go. Took the lead there, but in the 79th minute, Bahana Arabouli equalised for Lamia, and it stayed 2-2. Michael, how did you see this one, mate?
Oh, I'd probably say Atromitos probably deserved the win here, but. Yeah,
that was the common consensus that I got from the reports and reading. Yeah,
it was a much better performance compared to last week. Yeah, and as for Vassilantonopoulos, he did not celebrate because Lamia is his former club.
Wasn't AEK his former club as well?
Probably before that.
Okay.
No. He was at AEK, but he was on loan at Lamia, so he scored and didn't celebrate. But all the players jumped on him, hugging him. But that's the passion you want to see from Atromitos. Before that, you saw no pride, no passion. They're just flopping around.
Well, they had the fans all cracked the shits at them last week. So and the owner copped it as well. So
and just what I saw from the celebrations, I hope that's turning things around because that's the most passionate I've seen Atromitos. Even though they fell to a draw, hopefully they can bounce back in the next round.
Well, let's continue the theme on passion. AEK Athens hosted Aris. AEK 2-1 winners. Gerasimos Mitoglou opened up the scoring in the 16th minute. They doubled the lead by Mandalos in the 37th minute with a penalty. They were flying, AEK. They were looking good, playing great football. Then in the 71st minute, Mitoglou got himself sent off. Garcia scored in the 73rd minute, and then the game kind of just descended. Yellow cards all over the place.
They had chances. They had chances.
They had plenty of chances, yeah. Now, if anyone doesn't know the aftermath of this, the Aris official social media page on Instagram put out a mad post saying, why isn't Cosmo showing replays? Or Cosmote, showing replays. And just really... It was really went after him, and then AEK decides to put out a their own report, and then apparently the two owners of the clubs.
One of them said to the other,
allegedly, Michael.
That I'll say it. I'll put him in a wheelchair.
Yes. So one of them said, "I'll put you in a wheelchair." And these are all allegedly speaking type of stuff. It was all over the Greek newspapers, but I reckon you can figure out which owner said what.
This is why we follow this league.
Yeah. And then afterwards, Lazaros Rota, he got interviewed after the game.
Yeah.
And because the fourth official went to Giakoumakis and he said, one more challenge from Rota, it's a straight red.
Yeah.
He was lucky to stay on.
He was lucky.
Very lucky.
But
and
why
what happened?
The officials saying that? Like what?
So what happened afterwards? Giakoumakis took off Rota.
Of course he would, and he was laughing. Did you see him at the post-match? He's thinking like he's talking about it. Yeah, I had to get taken off because I was gonna. Greece.
That's a first for me, but it, as you guys said, it is Greece. Always
do you know
not
what
be
it is,
shocked.
right? Like, okay, sometimes, you see what referees are warning players. It's like, hey, listen, you're going too hard, blah, blah, blah. But it's one of the first times, I can't recall where they interview a player and it's like, yeah, listen, the coach took me off because the fourth official told the coach, I'm going to get, carded here. I'm going to get sent off.
He could have been, though, very early.
Yeah, but they talk about match fixing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, Greece doesn't have like the best reputation with regards to, all these allegations of match fixing and all that. And then you're getting a player saying the ref basically told my coach to take me off. It's just like...
That's why we follow this league.
I know, but it also does our headaches. And then the irony was, right, is the social media was going off, and all the, a lot of the PAOK fans were going off and laughing at Aris and calling them the Olympiacos B-side. And I'm thinking, hold on a sec, they kind of got a tiny bit sharp. Anyway.
I can't wait for the next derby.
Yeah, Hachi, they're your boys, or they're your soft spot for that.
Yeah.
What's the go? Why are they a soft spot for you? Doesn't make sense as a Panathinaikos fan that you are.
No, I think Nick said it before. I've got a big affection for their fans and for their fan group, Super Trio, and the way they go about their business. So,
okay.
I think, yeah. So, I think really, really good active support for a club like Aris, and obviously, they've got the big boys next door, which is PAOK. But if you said to Aris fans, who's the biggest team in, who owns the Saloniki, I think Aris would say something about
fans
that.
will be like,
Iraklis would say something as well.
That's right, yeah.
But just on this game, I was just going to say, just again,
same old.
I don't know, up front, I said to you the week, George, it's, I don't know. I really can't get a read on Aris at the moment, to be honest.
He's had 9 shots on target, 8 shots off target. So
that's just tells you everything. Yeah. It's the same old. They cannot finish their chances.
Yeah.
Simple as that. And they had a player sent off.
Big one right at the end.
What's I'm going to quickly jump on Mitroglou's social media page, see what he's up to. See what Gaffenio he's been hanging around.
Whilst you do that, what
surely
about
he's
the
done
red
the
card
circuit.
I did cop?
To Mitroglou?
Yeah.
Michael, you were laughing at that one.
I laughed. Yeah. I think it was deserved.
Yeah.
It was a straight red. It was a straight red, wasn't it?
Straight red.
Yeah, but the ref initially gave a yellow.
I don't know, but before that with Mitroglou he's done some rough challenges lately, not just this game, but in the other game as well with Volo. He needs to get his head straight. He needs to be a little bit more focused on the game. I know he's 21 and, you're overexcited and you just need to be a little bit more level-headed. But how can you when your centre-back partner is Vranjes? So he needs to...
Did we find out what Mitroglou's doing on Instagram?
No, I've had a quick look. His last post was in March, and it was thanking all his old clubs and some Malakia. So it wasn't.
He's effectively retired, getting paid. to retire.
700k. Like I said, his last post when he was at someone's birthday in Athens midweek, and I'm thinking Siovas's birthday.
No, it wasn't Siovas's birthday. It was actually his birthday. He was in Athens. Siovas was in Athens. They were celebrating.
Yeah.
At a sushi bar.
At a sushi bar.
Michael, he's still contracted to Addis, isn't he?
Yeah.
This is his final year, and he's earning 750,000 for this season only.
Euro.
Yeah. So
Wow.
I'd still take him back in Olympiacos. I'd have him back in a heartbeat. Getting him fit, not the Ampalois now, but
For the Olympiacos C team?
hey, listen, whichever. Who's our C team? If Addis
They're in the second division.
Okay, so Addis is our B team. So okay. So I thought Panionios was our C team. Well, Larissa was our D team. I don't know. I mean, what do we got? Xanthi used to be our team until
Xanthi were big ones.
Until PAOK decided to cut our grass and then took them and got them relegated too. So, anyway, moving on. Nico, your boys, Panathinaikos hosted Ofi, nil or draw. To use Antonis's word, Antonio, he hates being called Antonio, but to use his words, the referee effed us. How did you see this one, mate?
I don't know. I don't know if we can blame the referee. It's more,
I can't.
Yeah, I thought it was just more ourselves, and not only that. Credit to Ofi, I guess. We'll get on to Ofi, but they came with one gameplay, with one idea, and that was to get a point in a nil or draw, and they got that.
Yeah.
As for us, like again, we just picked up from
So
where we left off
inconsistent,
last week.
Nick. So inconsistent.
Inconsistent, but there was also that midweek game in the cup. And Jovanovic, when he took over, mentioned he doesn't like to use big squads. He only plays with like maximum 25, 26 players. And we saw a very strong side in the cup that lined up and a pretty strong side lined up again in the league. And you just think, yeah, is our depth there?
Now, did he? Just looking at the lineup now, this could be incorrect, but Carlitos played deep.
Yeah, because Ioannidis started.
Why? Like Carlitos has been on fire. It makes no sense.
Carlitos is
thinking change it up with the cup because the cup was a few days earlier.
Yeah, okay.
And he went strong in that game, lineup wise.
Yeah, no, it's a strong lineup, Michael.
I was going to say that Carlitos was used there because I think Lundqvist, the Swedish midfielder,